terror groups and how they are using social media and how they've gone online for their online propaganda and also recruitment. Now, India, during Narendra Modi's visit to the US, India is definitely going to take up this issue with the United States. What kind of expectations can we have? Because the NIA has said that more than 300 young people have gone missing, purportedly, to join these groups.
Well, clearly it's a big challenge in today's perspective, but the question is, how do we deal with it in a legal, policy or regulatory framework?
Right.
Primarily because none of the existing policies or the regulatory frameworks that we have are at all even prepared to look in that particular direction. In fact, most of our frameworks have been more traditional and conservative in their approach, and they have not even envisaged the phenomenon of people actually gone missing or doing activities which are radical in nature or which are primarily aimed at joining these kinds of groups. So I think the expectation is to break the ice. The expectation is to find out commonalities in ground in terms of how countries can work together, in terms of identifying as to what is the relevant source of activities in this regard, how can the activities be tracked down, and more significantly, what steps can be taken so as to ensure that these kinds of electronic activities in the digital and mobile ecosystem do not land up prejudicially impacting the sovereign interests of sovereign governments and sovereign states.
Absolutely. Sir, you talked of what can be done, what steps can be taken. Now, US also seems helpless in a few ways, because a lot of these servers are in fact not even within the United States, right?
Yeah, that's where we come across the very complicated issue of jurisdiction. Right. Internet has made geography history, and this boundaryless medium that's come across allows you to just about start your operations from anywhere in the network across the world and target computer systems and networks located physically in any other part of the world. So getting, number one, to track you, number two, to identify your electronic trails and footprints, and number three, trying to get you to book are big challenges because of huge jurisdictional issues. It's indeed sad and ironic that while internet has made a boundaryless medium, the fact is that national boundaries and national states have come up with artificial national boundaries in cyberspace, all because they want to exert their sovereign interests in cyberspace. So I think somewhere down the line, you will need to come up with international common accepted principles of the rules of the road. Now, come what may, you can be in any country, but if you're going to do any activity which specifically forms within the ambit of these minimum common standards of unauthorized, unwarranted activities, then I think you should be targeted, you should be picked up, and then appropriate steps in accordance with the laws of the relevant jurisdiction could be taken up. But a lot of work really needs to be done, considering the fact that internationally speaking, we yet do not have one single treaty on jurisdiction.